Welcome everybody to the ASU Esports Lounge mini tournament of the week. Today we have something very special, something I've been looking forward to ever since we got the schedule announced. purely because it's an interesting concept. We have Balatro tonight, and we have the Esports Lounge littered with Balatro players. I got some cheers, just a little bit of a celebration out there. They're excited to play a Balatro tournament, but you might be wondering, how the hell do you do a Balatro tournament? Now, I'm here to explain that with you. For those, if you didn't see on the screen right there, my name is Alon, or AXV, and I'll be with you tonight. I'll be hosting, I'll be commentating, and try to explain the craziness of this indie card game. But essentially how this will work is we'll have our players in lounge. They'll have 25 minutes to complete a seeded run. They can complete this run. Looks like they're giving out the seed now. But yeah, they'll have 25 minutes to get the best hand they can in 25 minutes. So they can, go through the run. They can hit ante 8. They can, game over. They can quit and restart. But ante 8 is as far as you go. You can't go endless. You can't go, beyond that. So the best hand you can get within 8 antes, that is the score you will submit. There will be a certain number of rounds that I will confirm in a little bit. 5 rounds. 5 rounds, it looks like. So, yeah, you'll have 5 chances to rack up that best score. Now, if you're not familiar with Balatro, which I feel like could be a good amount of people, it is a game where you have poker hands. It'll be a lot easier to explain once you see it, once we get in. But you'll have poker hands, and you'll have modifiers to get a big score. Big number go up is essentially the game. But it has taken the world by storm. It was Game of the Year contender for about a couple years ago now. No, a year and a half ago, I'd say. It was probably last year, but yeah, that is it's been one of my favorites. It's been completely addicting. I ended up buying it twice, once on Steam and then another on mobile, and it's a time passer, But yeah, it's really easy to pick up, really hard to put down, and really easy to get lost in. I think, just kind of there's a surprising amount of depth, which hopefully I'll be able to touch on a little bit once we get into the games here. But we have a couple of people on our stream willing to stream their POVs, so thank you to them who who volunteered their experience. But yeah, if we're about to get right into it, with our first seed, I am as much in the dark as everybody else here. Nobody knows what the seeds are, and what kind of surprises they could be having in the store for us. So you see, we're jumping right into it. You see, you have a hand of cards, just like these deck of cards, they're familiar to everybody, and it's going a little fast here, but yeah, you'll see that you're playing these hands, right? They played a flush, if you're familiar with poker, and that'll get them a certain number of points. Now, those cards in the top, those are called jokers. Those will modify your run. Those will modify your score, and that's how you're going to get those big numbers. You'll see in the blue and the red there, the blue is going to be your chips. The red is going to be your mult, which will multiply your chips. But yeah, you'll see here, kind of interesting run. We already have a mail-in rebate, which will give a lot of gold, which will be really good for econ here. We'll see if we can set that up. You see them hovering over to kind of check what cards to discard to get that gold from, or that money from. It looks like it's a 9, no 9s here, so we're just kind of getting through it. Now, you'll see we're going with a plasma deck here, which is interesting. Nice for just speed running through the early antes and getting through really easily, really nicely. So pretty good for scouting the run, I'd say. Yeah, we're just going to fish for the flushes here, it looks like. No biggie. No real game changer cards yet. We have ice cream, and then I'm not exactly sure what that other joker is here. We have discard and hands. Just getting those jokers in. Trying to get as much as we can. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot. It looks like our fellow player here is not seeing a bunch either. So they're just going to try to draw best hand possible. Yeah, you'll notice that they they changed their suits as well. So it looks like we're going for some sort of flush build. We're setting up for just some sort of maybe like a flush 5 or flush house. Oh, big baguette. That brainstorm found in shop. That could be something nice, but no other jokers to really set that up with. We're gonna open this buffoon pack, see maybe something in there. 4 of a kind gonna be in there. Arrowhead also gonna be picked up. Looks like we're focusing on those chips there. But yeah, while they are doing their run, we'll let them cook a little bit. We have 2 POVs right here. Again, this is the same seed, so they can potentially see the same cards. But you'll notice our friend on the left, Agent T, they're already on Anti 4 and they did not find that brainstorm. So must either not be enough rolls in, or just skipped it. So there could be a plethora of things to modify that RNG and just completely miss that brainstorm. These players, they can communicate with each other, so I don't think it'll be long before these players figure out that there's a brainstorm in the seed, especially because I'm talking about it, but yeah, very loudly. But yeah, that is I mean, that's the game, right? It's if you know it's there, it's one part of the battle, but you have to be able to set up for it. You know, the brainstorm by itself is not going to do anything. You need something to copy it. You'll need some retriggers. You can see that hanging Chad on Agent T's side, and the hit the road is also making an appearance here, which is interesting. Not really a pickup I usually take, but then again, I don't, there's a reason I'm sitting behind here and they're out there. So we'll see how this plays out for our friends here. Yeah, Allison seeing that hanging Chad now on Anti 4. That is something to copy for that brainstorm. Those retriggers are going to be really nice to bump up that score. And we'll see this as kind of a trend throughout the night. These players will kind of figure out how to set up these optimal hands, or these optimal builds, right? So there's so many different ways to play the game, but players have kind of figured out what's the best, Baron Mime, we'll hear that thrown around for a Baron Mime setup, where there's a couple ways to get an infinite score, essentially. And Baron Mime, that is one of those ways. So we'll see if we can get a couple of those setups. At least we'll hear another flush setup. Should be racking up a good number of points there. Yeah, again, nothing. A photograph on Anti 4 for Allison. That is massive, and if you recall, there it is. That is that Glass King that can rank a massive amount of points. Is gonna opt for the discard though. Doesn't want to blow their large hand just yet. Wants to set up for maybe a bigger one. Again, they have 25 minutes. They have about 18 minutes back on the clock, so they have plenty of time to figure something out. And we're only halfway through the ante in the case of Allison. So there's nothing to really be, rushed for. We can go for like high cards. We can go for steel cards even. Hermit missing is kind of tragic, but econ shouldn't be a worry for the mail-in rebate. Meanwhile, back on agent side, let's see, we got a negative. Well, I can't tell which one that one is. Juggler? I'm not sure. Because it would negative, it would be the blue one, right? So that'd be plus hand size, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll hover over it or whatnot. But we'll see. Game over. 14.5 going to be locked in there. But yeah, you see, that's going to be the first run for Agent T on this deck. So the checker deck. So we're going to stick around with the checker deck on that one. We'll see. Yeah, oh, there you go. We got that timer on the screen. Make it easier for you guys. Make it easier for me, too. Yeah, sticking with the checker deck is nice. Just because you have those suits. You don't have to really rely on any of those cards to change your suit. None of those. I'm blanking on the names right now, but as soon as I see them, I'll know them. But yeah, there's a very good, very good direction for Allison. My eyes are on this run. To be quite frank, yeah, trying to get those. Yeah, trying to get those lucky card hits. I don't think we got any though. I could be wrong. It was going very, very fast. Kind of splitting my attention. So yeah, we'll get a look at kind of, yeah, we'll see if there's anything big happening on Allison's screen. But meanwhile, I'm gonna take a look at Agent T again because yeah, I just want to see what they do differently on this first go around. Knowing the seed, knowing kind of what cards are in there. There's a hack as well. I wonder if it's, you know, we know there's face card in there. We know there's Hanging Chad. There's, you know, some retrigger. And we know there's a brainstorm, so we just have to get to the brainstorm. We're not sure what the conditions are for the brainstorm. I'm seeing blueprint as well somewhere in there. I'm guessing the different deck as well will dictate kind of what jokers you get and what cards you get. Could be mistaken on that. But yeah, I'm seeing a good different amount of cards, but we did see the same blue joker last time, so yeah, makes me think that the pool is similar. Yeah, juggler and junkard back in there. The econ looking very, very good on Agent T's side. You gotta pick up those jokers. There's the brainstorm, as we saw. So we did find that brainstorm, and now it's just a matter of what can we do to set it up. We know kind of what's in the deck so far. Gonna offer that that hearts flush joker. Yeah. 15 minutes left on the clock. The money is going to be very, very useful here. At least in the early stages of this time. Just, it could potentially go for a 4 of a kind here, but they're not going to take that. This, yeah, the money is going to be very important, just so you can roll down for those jokers. You see that brainstorm was pretty far in. The queen, shoot the moon, hollow as well. Looks like we're considering it. And take out the juggler. And yeah, we're gonna go for the queen is gonna be kind of a pseudo baron here. It's gonna be the poor man's baron. All right. Yeah, back here. All right, let's checking in back in with Allison. Looks like we have a blue seal on the ace, which will be nice for the upgrading of whatever hand they're going for. I'm assuming some sort of high card, some sort of flush 5, something. 5 of a kind maybe. I haven't really gotten a chance to look at this deck. So 1.5 billion is going to be locked in for Allison. Yeah, really, really solid score to get us off on the bat with 12 minutes left to spare. We'll see how much optimization that can get. Yeah, that will be a hefty score to beat for sure. Agent T finding that Hanging Chad. Yeah, the brainstorm Hanging Chad now. Retrigger. We're gonna get the Grow Michelle. Gross Michael, however you want to pronounce that. We got the banana. We'll see if that breaks anytime soon here. Again, AK barely getting through that big blind, or at least solidly. Looking at the throwback here, it looks like. Yeah, so now at this point, it's just optimization. All the players should know what's in the deck right now. I'm interested to see where this... think that's a... It looks like a blueprint over there. I'm not sure it is, though. It's hard to see from here. But if that is... Yeah, a blueprint brainstorm in this first seed, we're in for a treat. I'm just not exactly sure how they get there. Maybe it's just that blue joker. Okay. The negative tag. Okay. So we took the negative tag this time. Last time we got an alright joker as our negative for Agent T. We get just kind of looking at this next shop. Negative, ride the bus, which is fine. A little bit of counter synergy with the face card, but yeah, it's a little bit late as well. We're into ante 5. We only have 3 antes left. Yeah, we got the bean. Not gonna help us here. It's just gonna sit there. And that bus is just gonna be waiting for quite a little bit, maybe a little bit of extra molt. But yeah. So interesting enough, we took a different line here on Allison. We took the hack, so we'll have the re-triggers on those lower value cards. I wonder if we're just kind of throwing different angles here. Hack can be strong if you get, you know, a solid amount of the cards you need. Yeah, lucky card can be made there for Allison. So, ooh, a Deja Vu red seal for Agent T. See if they want to take that. Nothing to really red seal right now. On ante 6, it's kind of hard to tailor the deck to something. We're going to go for the red ace. And then we're also going to add a blue seal, it looks like. Perhaps. No, we're going to add some face cards. Okay. So, diminishing returns on that to ride the bus. But I'm not sure. There you go. Ooh, negative throwback is going to be in the arsenal here for Agent T. Gonna give them a little wiggle room to get some better jokers in there. No, we're just we're just full skipping. That would explain why we're so far in the ante. We'll see if we can get past this 40,000 sun here created by the Fool. We're almost full hearts. There we go. Yeah, Hanging Chad doing a lot of work, and he'll basically double that score. No problems passing it for Agent T. Yeah, gonna go ahead and take that. The Wii Joker is an unfortunate grab on that rare Joker voucher, or that rare Joker tag. Black hole. But yes, we are going to go back to that double view. The hack run. I'm interested to see what this hack run has in store for us. Let's see. 7 minutes on the clock. Probably time for Allison to submit this last run. Maybe some time for Agent T to submit one last one as well. There's a mime. Okay, so ante 8 mime. Ante 8 mime. We're not going to take it. We don't have the jokers for it at the moment, it looks like. Skipping the tags just for the molt. Now, the acorn is a little bit tough, especially because we have that brainstorm. So we'll need to pay close attention. Figure out which one's which. Okay, we found our throwbacks. So the order of those jokers will matter for those uninformed. Just like a small optimization that could win you big. You know, if your multiplicative, number is before your actual additives, you could be potentially losing out on a lot of points there. We were able to identify that throwback, put it in front of the brainstorm and the Chad, which will, skyrocket that score. Yeah. Ante 8 completed. Agent T. Yeah. Agent T is done with that run because I don't believe we're taking any scores from beyond Ante 8. Oh, we are? Okay. So you can go endless. Okay. Okay. That was... Okay. Cool. No, yeah. No. Yes, okay, so they can go endless, which does change things a lot. So if you have a good run, then you can just keep that going. But yeah, with 5 minutes remaining, you might just have to commit to what you got. Allison in a solid lead with 1 billion, 1 billion points with that photo card. Brainstorm Chad build in the first round. 5 million from Soup in second. 4 minutes, just enough time to get that big hand. We'll see what Soup has to offer. All right. Yeah, we'll see how far Agent T can take it. I think Allison pretty locked into first unless something crazy happens, which is not impossible in Balatro. You can get some crazy high numbers, especially as this throwback is going to be scaling up even more. So, not sure what you could possibly find here. If you are Agent T, the throwback, you're running a pretty generic, like, multiplying, the throwback, not really too much direction. I mean, you have a little bit of direction in the face card and the Hearts Joker, but that's not going to get you past 1 billion, so we need to find something to replace that with pretty soon there. I'd like to see a photo card. I think we're past it, though, if we're playing the face cards. Popcorn going to run out soon. No, there's the photo card, just as I say it, Cast or Curse. That could potentially be something. Getting rid of the scary face. And there is that Joker. We do see a not seance. I forgot what it's called, but the one where you destroy an 8 or destroy a 6 to create a spectral. Gonna ignore it though. The Serpent, fan favorite, almost guarantees you to draw that hand that you want. Let's see how much this hand scores for the side of Agent T. 1.5 million. Okay, not quite enough to best that 14 million score. And we'll have to see if it's even enough to get past the ante. 2 hands left. 10 million points to go. It's looking grim for this run here. All right. 1.7 million for Agent T here. Great job. With 1 minute 30 seconds left, not much they can do on a new run unless they super speed it. But I'm not counting on it. We'll swing back here to Allison, see what they've got cooking. Just kind of searching it. Wasn't really paying attention to how large we were scoring. But looks like, yeah, it looks like we're kind of locking it in here. We're going back to the main menu. A minute left. It looks like our players are kind of locking in their scores for now, and we'll get to see. Yeah, last minute runs, and we'll get to see that leaderboard in just a second here. But wow, 1.5 billion is a massive score. That plasma deck with the photo card, hanging Chad, brainstorm, whatever they had. The glass card, I assume, also playing a big part into that large score. All right, 20 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, that will be it, and we'll wait for that leaderboard to update. But while that is updating, we do a lot more than just Balatro tournaments here. We do tournaments every Friday in the Esports Lounge. So I'm not sure exactly what is up next. I think it's Fortnite. But yeah, we do tournaments. Free Fridays is what the event we host here every Friday. There's a little mini tournament. So pop out, get some friends together. Next week is Fortnite. So get your squad together. Get some dubs and all that jazz, whatever the kids say these days. But yeah, we're gonna go next. Whoa, a 2 billion score. Tuman. Not sure how to pronounce their name, but they are almost doubled that score from Allison. So these are the kind of final standings here. They're being updated as we speak. The final standings, kind of round one, and yeah, 2 billion. 2.4 billion points in one hand. Two main. I wish I could see that build because that's incredible. Yeah, Allison in second, and then Ashy rounding out our top three with 275 million. Impressive, but ooh, impressive, but obviously gonna be tough breaking into that 1 billion bracket. We'll see if that changes next round. Again, there's 5 different seeds we'll be playing through, so I'm not even sure if they've been tested, to be honest. So it could be anything. Might get an Amgod seed, who knows? But whoa. All right, there we go. Yeah, crazy. Is that a real score, Andrew? That is a real score. All right, well, all right, real score coming in from Andrew, from out of nowhere, 32 billion points, smashing it out of the park. So top 3. It's the it's the $1 billion club, is what's looking like in that first round. Are we on the same? Yeah. I'm interested in seeing like when, if we're on the same seat or not, because 32 billion. That's such a far cry from the 2 billion we saw. I thought 2 billion was a lot. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be starting soon here on the next seed. No use thinking about it now. Time to turn your sights onto the next round of Balatro. Maybe time to choose a different deck. Time to rethink kind of your strategy, what you set up for. Yeah, there's no way of knowing. The only way to know is by playing. All right, welcome back to round 2 of our Balatro tournament here in the ASU Esports Lounge. We have our new seed, fresh minds, and fresh decks here in the lounge. But looking here, we have immediately right off the bat we have a holographic Fibonacci sequence and a blueprint for Allison already found on the seed. I mean, this is looking a little rigged to me, but yeah, we have a blueprint already, which is going to be really nice here. Agent T finding that DNA, which will definitely be nice for any sort of card copying. We can kind of decide what cards we want in our deck here. Any of these cards, any sort of these like deck control cards or jokers are going to be really nice here, especially finding them this early as Ante 2, because you can get these flush fives really early. You can copy your kings really early. You know, set yourself up for an easy Baron Mime later on in the run, should that present itself to you. But yeah, there you go. There's the DNA, and Allison is going to be able to get that copying up as soon as possible. And Ante 2, that is an amazing, amazing place to have that. So we'll see what they choose to copy. Looking like those kings. So yeah, we're looking at that Baron Mime setup here. Gonna go for the glass ace. Gonna skip the red seal on that DNA. Interestingly enough, but I'm sure there's a reason for everything. If I've learned anything from Balatro or playing this game, or just life in general, is it'll work out somehow, even if you don't want it to. But rambling aside, we have lots of hearts here. We're going into that checker deck again. Definitely clear that these players have kind of signatures per se. They definitely have a preference. Allison liking this plasma deck, and I can see why. You can just kind of fly through these early antes without having to really worry about if your hand will hit or not. This is white stake, so there's nothing too fancy happening there. Polychrome gold card, I believe that was on the side of ooh, and seeing double right there. Yeah, seeing double is a joker I don't see very often, I'll say. So we're gonna copy that glass. Looks like glass aces is gonna be kind of where we're going for. Surely we're not playing around that Fibonacci. I guess we are. I mean, interesting enough, I'm not complaining. I love me some interesting builds. I love me, I love Baron Mime. I love Idol as much as the next guy, but my favorite builds are the ones that go off the beaten road. And if we're playing around Fibonacci, so be it. Maybe this is the best we get. Maybe Fibonacci is going to come in clutch here for Agent T, and we're finding the Ancient Joker, which is going to be nice. Very, very nice for specifically Agent T, who's running the checker deck. You only have 2 suits to choose from for the Agent Joker. So if you can just pick a suit and then kind of cull that from your deck, you have a pretty easy Ancient Joker setup for whatever you want here. And then you have DNA, you have I already have retrigger in the form of Hanging Chad. That should be nice. And then we got the early Ride the Bus too. This time not going to be as how do I say, useless, but in a nicer way. But yeah, it'll have some value. It'll have some value this game for sure. Cryptid and Hex is going to be really nice here. The Hex, ooh. You can see the gears turning in Agent T's head. Do you want the Hex? Short attention switch to Allison on the Ancient Joker. Find here. So, gonna have a little bit more of a difficult time trying to figure out what they want to do, what suit they want to pick. If they'll even commit to this Ancient Joker, it's not a bad idea. It's always a solid option. It's just like, what kind of angle do you have? The wild cards are definitely going to be your way into it, though, if you can find more of those. Fishing for that now, it looks like we have 4 kings on the board here. And the flush 5 right there. Unfortunately, I don't think that Ancient Joker hit on the clubs there. Oh, it did. It did hit on the clubs. So, yeah, massive score, 388 out the gate. Gonna be very nice to lead it off here. Similar strategy for Agent T, except going for the Ace of Spades and glass cards. So, okay, we'll see how that works here. Opening up that jumbo or that Arcana pack. Not a lot what you want to see. We maybe want to yeah, it looks like they're looking for spades here. It doesn't take any of the sun cards. And we're getting to copying those wild kings pronto on the side of Allison. So yeah, the Ancient Joker definitely going to be a nice pickup, or a nice what is it, like a rock, like an anchor. And ooh, a bean and a Chad. So there's that retrigger there. the Chad gonna reveal itself again. Definitely time to let go of something that's a little bit less useful. Allison kind of figuring that the econ, they can get that later. The Hermit's gonna help with money, and they can kind of just chill. You know, they have the scoring. I don't think that's a doubt in their mind. They have the scoring to get through the antes. The question is whether or not they can farm for something better. So, you know, there's going to be better econ jokers as well somewhere. So we just need to copy these wild cards as you see here, and should set us up very nicely for a flush 5 of kings later on in the run. You know, probably gonna end up dropping this DNA as well, closer to ante 6, 7, or 8. Just a later game to see if we can get any better scoring, better molt, because we are riding on this Ancient Joker right now. Meanwhile, on the side of Agent T, we did pick up. Oh, we have the Serpent here, picking up lots of aces. We are playing around that Fibonacci sequence, as we stated before. Which hey, I can respect a committed committed player to their Joker, and especially with Ride the Bus, should be nice too, because if we're not so focused on the face cards, that'll be a nice thing to have. Unfortunately, one of those ace cards I think breaking in that last hand, so that's one less we have. We do have very big decks, though, on the sides of both of them. We have 66 cards for Allison, 60 cards for Agent T. So my next concern is, are we able to draw that hand once we get to those later antes, before the ante gets over, or, you know, later on? I guess, again, you always have endless, right? So I guess you have, the rest of these 16 minutes to figure out how you're going to dumb your deck down into these cards that you want to have for the final one. We're going to get rid of the Ancient Joker, interestingly enough, in favor of the reserve parking. Looking like money is a little bit of a it's a necessity and something that is a scarcity for Agent T. It can't be said for Allison, though, having $70 before this roll down here, picking up the Bloodstone, and the Idol pickup is insane as well. This is why the money is so important. The more you can roll down, the more you can find things like these, like this Idol, which is going to be massive for your scoring. You have Idol, Ancient Joker. Bloodstone is not going to take it, though. They're going to opt in for the Bloodstone. They're going to stay on the Ancient Joker line, and Bloodstone to kind of round it out as well. I think that's not a bad decision. I mean, you have the wild cards, right? Bloodstone is also a pretty nice card as well. Looking like we're going for flush 5 here. Let's see how much this scores. We have the glass card in the back to multiply everything. Big hand, 159 million before ante 8. Didn't even have to go endless for a score like that. Which I mean, looking at this Joker lineup, not too surprising. But looking at the position Agent T is in, finds the Idol as well, so they're gonna opt in for that. Selling the reserve parking. That's the kind of scoring we need, the multiplication, to really turn this around and score large. Though we are committing pretty hard to this Fibonacci line. I guess we kind of locked ourselves into a corner, a little sunk cost fallacy, with how many aces we're copying, these glass aces, because to kind of justify all this. Let's see if there's anything better here. Oh, Bloodstone, oops, all 6s. This is my favorite combo in the entire game. I love, I think unsurprisingly, because we're casting this game, I love gambling. So I love gambling in games, specifically this game, Balatro. Um, yeah, these lucky cards. I mean, synergize so well. Oops, all sixes, upping those chances. It's also gonna get Bloodstone to a guaranteed trigger, right? So you'll see this flush five played here, and it'll trigger everything. Big hand coming out here from Allison. So yeah, I see this Bloodstone is triggering every single time thanks to the oops all sixes, increasing those odds. 200 million gonna get locked in for Allison. And then the Hangman is gonna be nice to cut that deck down a little bit. 70 cards loaded in. But again, it's biggest hand. It's not whether or not you can survive the ante. It's just how big of a hand can you get. And 200 million is a nice one to have. Oh, some realizations from the players. I can hear the light bulbs turning on here in the lounge. The the gears are turning. The pop-offs are happening. I want to get a look at this guy's screen. Yeah, 15 billion locked in as soon as I look back. 15 billion. Wowza. That is yeah, half of Andrew's last round score, but I mean so far the largest score we have so far, at least that we can see. With 10 minutes on the clock, still plenty of time to get something in. This seed is so good. Just for lack of a better word, just so good. These players are finding every single thing. You know, Allison has not reset once. Doesn't need to be quite honest. Has a pretty good line here. You're so far into the run at this point that resetting now would not be beneficial. Or if you were to end your run, would you even want to start another one? Could you get to this point? How many turns do you remember to get to these cards? Or you know, that's what makes plasma deck so nice, I guess. They can just kind of run through, get to the antes where you know the jokers are. But yeah, going back over to Agent T. On the 70 points locked in for ante 8. Gonna move on to endless. Hone picked up. Haven't seen a lot of good cards since the idol. I wonder how many rolls deep Allison is that Agent isn't even finding this Bloodstone. Or maybe they have. There's the photo card, so maybe they just skipped out on it. I mean, not that the Bloodstone would be very useful for them in this situation, as they've committed to the spades. Got the gold card in the back. To be able to get past it in this hand. There it is. $3 extra in the pocket. Oh, look at the shop. Death will be nice. Special card. Looking for some deck cutting. Ankh, not quite going to be what we're looking for. Blue Seal should be alright, though. Planet cards are not, you know, we're not going to complain with anything like that. Yeah, the death's going to be used on that glass ace. And I'm assuming the Hermit's going to be used here. Yep, there we go. The money. There's a polychrome, but I don't know if that polychrome is what you want to see right now. Specifically this one. Keeping this DNA for a very long time. Making sure that we have a bunch of aces. Yeah, 8 minutes left. Around 9 to 8 minutes left. Special card. Gonna get up. Yeah, we're back on. So we're just a little bit ahead on the side of H&T for where we are at. So a little look into the future for Allison as we have both POVs on our board. Hangman in the next shop and a Hermit as well. That'll be nice for Allison to get. Looking low on funds. Agent T starting to build up their wealth a little bit more. Trying to build up that money. Trying to get something to replace, yeah, this Fibonacci code that's finally going to go. The, what got them so far. The mail-in rebate. Going to get skipped out here. And then rough gem. And getting all the stones we don't need. An arrowhead would be very nice here. Verdant leaf. Oh, no. That is pretty tough, especially after you've sold your Fibonacci. Perhaps it's a curse. Perhaps it's a little bit of a, a sign. Fibonacci getting one last laugh. Having to sell that idol in order to even get points on the board. But yeah, very different game state on Allison's side. They're just discarding down to their ideal hand. Has to get rid of one of these cards though. It's gonna be heartbreaking because this is tough. What do you get rid of? 6 is gonna be the choice here. Gonna trade some of that RNG for your scoring. You don't know whether or not you're gonna get the scoring again. The retrigger is so valuable. Obviously the blueprint, you do not want that to go away. Face cards, the photograph, obviously going to be nice. But we are going to go into endless here for Agent T as well as Allison. They both kind of hit it around the same time. Eris. Another thing worth mentioning as well is that, I think everybody's going to be kind of on pace. Just because I think these flush fives have been quite easy to find with this DNA. But if once you unlock these new hands, the hands that normally aren't in the game, that unlocks the ability to get those as planet cards, which can kind of mess with the RNG a little bit and mess with the kind of pool of whatever planet cards or things you might find in the shop. So not sure it'll matter too much here. But we'll see if it ever comes up into relativity, or if it's ever relevant later in runs. Hangman and Death, going to be nice. Going to keep on cutting that deck down. Yeah, the game plan is pretty simple here for Allison. Thin your deck down so that you're only drawing your ideal hands, and then just keep on pumping that flush 5. Going to draw that glass card. Going to be a nice scoring there. Gonna be nice to cut it. We'll see. I think we're hoping for a break here. We'll see if it breaks. Yeah, that does. So that's one last card there as well. the Wheel of Fortune hit does not hit. It was a valiant effort though. Valiant effort. I see the flush Joker also picked up for the side of Agent T. So some multiplicative factors. 5 minutes left on the run. And yeah. So far. Oh no. Yeah, a little bit of unfortunate RNG for Allison, but I think there are so many wild and king cards in this deck that it doesn't really matter here. E11 locked in for Allison. Yeah, I didn't realize the trapeze is there too, so that's going to be very, very nice. Yeah. Allison kind of running away with it here, at least from what we can see. Again, we have a lot more than just these two players who decided to spend their evening out here in the Esports Lounge playing Balatro with us. And that we're very grateful. But just to say, there's so many other runs that we didn't see. We didn't see Andrew on stream either. Lord's going to be the first score that we see locked in on round 2 on this leaderboard here. 26,000. Not quite what you want to see when you have other players who are locking in 49 billion on an all right hand, So all right. I've just gotten informed that there's a good score being inputted in just a minute. It'll update. But in the meantime, yeah, 1.8 million locked in for Agent T. Yeah, it's just a game of kind of how hard can you hit this curve. I think Agent T is having a little bit of difficulty finding those good jokers. Hasn't got rid of this DNA yet. You know, the value slowly diminishing. 62 cards. Yes, these aces just keep breaking. And yeah, this is in these yeah, man, another death. Play only one hand. I don't think that's gonna be a problem here for Allison. As yeah, you're just gonna draw down to their hand. Now there's always a chance that they don't by some miracle draw their hand, but there it is. There's the Wild Kings from Slay the Spire. Just gonna make steals just for the heck of it. And this is gonna be a big hand coming in from Allison. We'll see kind of what's going on here. Okay, not as large as we thought it was gonna be. All right. Oh, we're copying the Kings now with the death here on Agent T side. We have picked up the photograph. Mid and 30. Oh, there it is. Cloud9. There we go. Finally gets rid of that DNA. You know, thinking better of it. But unfortunately, I think it's too little, too late. 1 minute left on the clock. Nothing in that standard pack to really help them out here. Play only one hand here. We're just selling all the jokers on Agent T side. Full blank joker. The stencil build with no stencil. 1.8 million gonna be the best on Agent T. Allison locking in the E11. And that is our round 2 scores for our players here on stream. 30 seconds left, and that should be... Well, I think we have one more... At least one more player who's still working on a run. 20 seconds left. Just waiting for those cards to... I'm watching it go right here. The speed is going. And then... Okay, the screenshot has been sent. And that has been submitted to the Discord. So we will see those leaderboards updated soon. Buzzer beater coming in from one of our players. The chair scooting back in relief. Yeah. See this scoreboard kind of updating here. What a seed, honestly, coming in from round 2. I thought round 1 was good, but there was a lot of resources for the players to use in this second seed round. So we'll just have to see who found the line and who had the line evade them. Yeah. See a bunch of these scores being put in. There's our boy Agent T with the 1.8. All right, Andrew locking in a 25. What is that? 25 trillion. 2.4 trillion points. I believe if my math skills are still fine from high school. I believe so. Yeah, that is a 2.25.4 trillion points for Andrew. Andrew, we can get him on stream. We got to see what the magic is, see what the secret sauce is. But Tuman or Tumain also gonna lock in that trillion club. Astrid coming in as well with the 20 billion, excuse me. But yeah, really big numbers coming in the second round. I mean, if you didn't think that seed was good before. But yeah. I mean, looking at the scoreboard, I think this is pretty locked in. We'll see what Allison and well, we already know Allison's score was that E11. Not sure what that is in zeros, but we'll find out here in a second. Soup and Ashy still left to be seen as we figure out the scoreboards here in a second. All right. And here's the overall while we're waiting on the scores to truly update or fully update. Andrew sitting on top with that 25 trillion, really cementing them in. Tumain following behind, and Allison, whose score I think may or may not be updated now, but might have a few more points coming in. But yeah, looking like a lot of numbers on the on the screen right now. Top 3 to watch as we go into our third round. Looking like Allison, Tumain, and Andrew. Okay, so Allison's is updated. And then we're going back. Ashy. Ashy going in with the large score of, let's count the commas. Let's see. 1 million, billion, trillion, quadrillion, 101 quadrillion points for Ashy. It can't be. Yeah, there you go. There's an updated in form of E. Yeah, in the key of E. Yeah, in the notation, in the scientific notation. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't taken a science class since high school. Can you tell? It's been a little bit, but yeah. E17. Large number coming in, just shooting straight into first from I was kind of like on the cusp of a podium in the beginning of or the end of round 3 or round 1 there, if I recall correctly. But yeah, this round very good one for Ashy. But yeah, there's still 3 rounds to go. Still a lot of Balatro to play. And I still have not seen a Namgod seed. So as soon as I see that, then I'll anything can happen. All right. All right, we're moving straight into seed 3. Our players are going back to their battle stations. All right. Yeah, we have the player POVs. So if you at home also want to play along, just Sparky. All right, Sparky. Very on brand here at ASU in the ASU Esports Lounge. Should have seen this coming, honestly. But yeah. Speaking of the ASU Esports Lounge, again, I'm gonna plug again. We have these tournaments every Friday. We change the games out just to keep it fresh. Next week is Fortnite, so if you just want to have some casual fun on our Fortnite tournament, go ahead and pop out. We'll have we do a bunch of different games on October 10th, I believe, is League of Legends. So we'll be doing a bunch of games there. We have Counter-Strike. We have consoles in the lounge as well. So if you just want to come out and chill in between your classes with the consoles, we have someone playing Overcooked right now during the tournament. So yeah, just come and hang out whenever and see what we got. Well, and the time has started now. Not sure how much you hear through the mic, but we're just jumping right straight into it. Allison with the tried and true plasma deck. Just going to get straight to that first shop. Fibonacci sequence pulled up. Yeah, nothing particularly of interest so far. We do have a buffoon pack. We'll see if anyone wants to crack that open, do a little bit of spinning the wheel. You're going to opt for the Arcana pack instead. Perhaps a legendary. You got to try that chance. You also have a couple extra dollars to work with here if you're Agent T, so you can crack that buffoon if you so please. It's not going to happen. We're just going to go straight into the next round. Nothing in the spectral. We're just searching for those legendaries. I believe this seed is also untested, so we have no idea what's in here. It could be awesome. It could be, a complete dud. But that blackboard is going to be something, at least. Something to play around. And then medium, gonna put a purple seal onto a card there. Some tarot card generation. Should be good, especially if you're getting some of these worlds or other black card generators. Yeah, we'll see how many they get. Agent T. Oh, wait a minute. I just completely missed the legendary onto Allison. It's going to be Shiko. Now, I believe, yeah, this one is one of the weaker ones for sure. It kind of just, it's more of an equalizer than it is, really anything, that'll, something like a Trib or, I'm forgetting all my Joker names now, but, all my legendary Joker names. What is it? A Perkio, or something like a set up for a Perkio observatory, or Canio was the other one that's really good as well. And then Yorick, I'm naming them off now, but Chico disabling all the boss blinds should be nice so that you don't die, but won't do anything for your scoring. So, nice of him to show his face, though. Nice of him to pull up and check in how the players are doing. They won't have to deal with any sort of boss blind shenanigans. Prematurely ending their run. But we will have to see. I think it's also very fitting that the Sparky seed has a red legendary legendary Joker in there, and then also the burning Joker. You get picked up. Very hot, very desert-like, very on brand. The blackboard. We're we're an institution of education. I'm just drawing lines here. Yeah, we have that times. Saw a Joker in the shop, just a flash of one. The Acrobat, there it is. Yeah, so can't decide to take both if they want it. Agent T will decide to do so. The rocket shape will be nice on Allison's side for the econ and get that gold. I'm wondering, I'll have to pay a little bit more attention to what kind of cards, what kind of hands that Allison is discarding here to try to upgrade. Because this is going to set them up for the late game a lot better. I feel like a broken record saying this, but again, the plasma deck is going to be able to carry them towards that late game and like forward those better cards, and you know, so you have a little bit of leeway. You can afford to set yourself up and discard those bigger scoring hands. You know, if you find the flush 5, you can discard it, start upgrading it early on, because the plasma will kind of carry you through ante 3, ante 4. A little restart from Agent T. There's already sees a better line maybe. They go for the buffoon this time. Seeing double. I'm gonna go for the square joker instead. And then, yeah. He's gonna sell the square joker. Interesting lines. Mail-in rebate found for Allison. Here's some exclamations of disbelief in regards to the seed. I'm wondering what someone found. Another restart, or no? This is another yeah, just going back here. Going back for the blackboard angle. Was able to take that world for the spades. Should set them up a little bit nicer, especially with this checker deck. I don't remember if I mentioned it the first time around, but the blackboard is going to be very good for Agent T here for sure, just because you only have 2 suits to really look after. Just rolling all their money down on the side of Allison, really trying to get in. We know what that soul has, so we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna ignore the soul. We're gonna go for the lucky card, something a little bit more. I guess it'd be unfair to not call Shikot consistent, not consistent. He does one thing very consistently. In fact, all the time consistently. So it'd be unfair to call him inconsistent, but going for the lucky cards, it's just gonna be maybe something a little bit more useful. Going for the chance, less so the consistently. Allison keeping the legendary though. Seeing as a little bit of a boon. That is still decent money if you decide to sell it later. And there's the blueprint face card. So that is going to be very nice. They're going to throw that onto the Burning Joker there. Upgrade that high card twice. And then mail-in rebate also getting a top hit. There's going to be a lot of money coming in on the side of Allison. Money printing machine. Very interested to see where this goes. You have a lot of money to work with here, Allison. A lot of money to kind of roll down and kind of see what kind of cards are in the seed. Seed money also going to be very nice. Almost said prismatic. Man, polychrome face photograph found by Allison, but it just immediately rolls past it. You know, I didn't even get time to pronounce the card before it was sent straight to the ether. Yeah, a lone blackboard on Agent T's side. In contrast. Whoa, lucky card hit, $20 free. No tax. I'm hearing the 5th hit this run, so lots of luck on Allison's side. Double for the gold, as if they didn't have enough already. Emperor as well. Rolling down. Just keep rolling. bit of a... Oh, here we go. The Sparky Seed. He's the third reset for Agent. 15 minutes left on the clock. Just around. Agent, we're not really finding anything they like. It looks like. Oh, a little bit of a misplay. Trying to play a little bit fast. Didn't grab the 5th card there for the flush. Ends up playing the high card. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, especially on the plasma. It ends up switching to the plasma. They are right next to each other on stream, so they can kind of confer. And I think Agent T is taking a page out of Allison's book on that plasma deck. Wow. Just a lucky card hit upon lucky card hit for Allison. Special pack. Purple seals. Going to be nice. Going to use the aura onto the Steel King. We do have a Steel King with red seal already. So the second a Baron shows up, it's curtains. The only thing is, Allison has to roll down to it if it's even in the seed at a reasonable time. You know, you're 15 minutes in. You have a lot of ways to get points, it looks like. Obviously, you don't want to get too carried away. Yeah. See, Allison making all these gold cards. All these gold cards. Just get as much money as possible and just find this Baron. Find this Mime. Something. Strength. Gonna make more kings. Voucher. Going for a different angle here. We see the purchase of the Seeing Double on the side of Agent T. And the Soul, our dear old friend, back one more time. Is going to get ignored for the Magician once again. Alright. Things are slowing down a little bit as you can kind of see what each player's trying to go for. Agent still not really seeing a line. With 13 minutes left, this has to be the run where something happens. Otherwise, they're in trouble. Allison's still fishing. We'll see if they can get enough money. Gold card played. All right. Another these high card, this Burning Man, these Burning Joker high card upgrades have been serving Allison very well. It's just a lot of rinse and repeat for Allison, just to try to get as much money as possible, get through. No enormous hands played yet. Spectral pack, maybe there's something in here. Cryptid, but no card to copy. Unfortunate, but yeah, I hate to see it. Would love to see that Red Seal King copied. Lucky Cat gonna show itself a little bit of a hint. Maybe plant the seedling of a lucky pivot, but Allison not gonna take the bait and just continue with their game plan. Continue finding these gold cards, continue finding the money, and just hopefully you hit something here. Hopefully hit something that can kind of blow everything out of proportion so you can hit the gas. Checking in back with Agent T. Kind of see what they're going on. The misprint bot. Best Joker of all time, as all players know. Has never done any of us wrong. But it looks like we have a little bit more of a direction here with the scene double. We got a hangman from the purple seal, which is nice. Royal flush here. Get them past the big blind, and we'll have to see what shows up in this shop. Another strength. Buffoon pack. Gonna be the egg hallucination. Could consider grabbing the Fool for more deck thinning. Is going to end up going for the Magician. Selling the Hangman. All right. All right, more kings on the side of Allison. Yeah, looking like they're in a great spot here. Oh, reserve parking. I didn't even realize that. That's more income on the side of Allison. Especially with how many kings they have in hand. They're just going to play random hands and maximize this value as much as possible. And that's gonna end up winning them the ante. Observatory. Gonna get picked up here. Even more scoring. The non-zero chance of the Perkio has to be running through their brains. Blueprint Perkio. Observatory. A pipe dream. Yeah. Anything here? Check back in onto Agent T. Mail-in rebate in shop. I'm not sure if Agent T wants it. Okay, I'm not going to get rid of anything for that mail-in rebate. They are good on money. So they do have $82 in the bank that they could use to roll down any moment here, should they decide it's the time. 94 now. Gonna sell the misprint for the Gross Michelle. Straight. Alright. Lots of planet cards being redeemed here for Agent T, so whatever they find, they should be in a decent position to get it. The holographic DNA, though, found on Allison, completely missed it. So that is going to be a lot of generation. So you already kind of have the setup for what would be a typical Baron Mime. But I mean, it's already enough. That high card is already at what, double-digit levels. So you play that singular king, you have a bunch of, steel cards, just the steel cards with red seals on them in a row, and you're already scoring a bunch from that. And then this Chico also thwarting anything these boss blinds want to throw at Allison, so they can just kind of focus on their build. Yeah, just that first initial hand already scoring more than enough for the tooth. And a brainstorm find on Ante 10. So we're going to be, I mean, if you weren't, I hope you're not tired of seeing these Red Seal Kings, and I'm sure Allison isn't. These Steel Kings. Wow, 3 in a row. I mean, yeah, a little flash of the scoreboard just in case you were interested. 1.6 million locked in here. And just, yeah, keep on rolling. There's the face card. Not going to need it. Using the tarot cards, hoping for a gold card. Nothing there. Mail-in rebate as well for the econ. Oh. Lots of money. Each discard giving $15. Already back up to 50 from $5 at the start of this blind. $65. Gonna copy more Steel Kings. That score is just gonna keep on getting higher. And the deck isn't even as large as it was last round. So there's a lot of room to kind of bloat this deck up. Can afford to, at least. Steel Joker passed by there. Gonna opt for more scaling. Meanwhile, on the side of Agent T, $108 stocked up. There's that polychrome face photo card. And we have the bootstraps now, too. So we're looking at a money build here. On the side of Agent T. Agent T finally finding a line that they're a little, comfortable locking in. Maybe not, maybe no brainstorm blueprint, but it's something that you find you gotta lock in a score. So we make the most out of our situation. 145,000 on that hand. Discarding down your gold cards. Yeah, there he is. There's gonna be a lot of money coming in. Oh, not gonna be able to get past that small blind in one hand. 30 million. Still not really able to break this seed open just yet, despite what seems to be such an insane Joker layout. The needle coming up here. Only one hand being able to be played. I'm gonna sell the legendary, make some room for another Joker, get their scores up before this round is over. 3 minutes left on this seed. Only 120 seconds. 120 seconds, what am I talking about? 180, excuse me. Before, this is a big hand from Allison. Full hand of Steel Kings. 4.4 E to the 11. Yowza. Can you imagine if there were just 2 little cards there? You know their names. If there were just 2 little jokers there instead of the mail-in and the DNA or something. Maybe no, instead of the troubadour. This would have been an insane hand to play. And I think this is, yeah. We're just going to see if we can get even more here. Not quite as much. We did have the gold card, so that kind of stole a little bit of mult from us. But we've essentially guaranteed this is our hand. This is about as much as we can, as good as it can get for Allison here. And I think we're gonna see pretty much a lot of the same. Yeah, switching back to Agent T. We'll see what they can pull out in this last minute and 30 seconds. Buffoon pack opened. Anything in there? Nothing of note. We'll move on to the wheel. Justice gonna get pulled out. You got the straight. Not relying on this acrobat at all for... Okay, Agent T is in a little bit of a bind. Allison's sitting comfortable, but Agent T kind of needs to find something big. He needs to find a way to trigger this acrobat somehow get that ×3 mold, that's their only chance to get a decent score in this seed. Gonna fish for that hand. 30 seconds before the last seed. Selling the jokers again in an active defeat. 25 chips. Not able to lock in. The TOs are tweaking. All right. I'm excited to see exactly what is what we're looking at here. Obviously, we see the potential of it with that e to the 11. But if we know anything, we have players that we did not see on stream that were able to pull out crazier numbers last round. You know, we had Andrew, we had Ashy pull through. But let's see, Astrid. We'll see this leaderboard update just a little bit as the scores come in. As we see these 6-figure scores, one has to wonder, when are we going to find, or who is going to lock in that first one? We already know Allison's. Who else? Who else got a E score? There's Allison, 465 billion points. Wow. All right. I believe that is all the scores in. Surprisingly enough, Allison taking round 3, running with it, sprinting with it, you could say, with 465 billion points. Astrid, a full 6 figures down in second place. This should shift the standings quite a bit here, and with Allison with Allison being the only one that I'm going to presume moving. Here are the overall scores as they are being updated right now. It looks like Allison's still in fourth. That is updated or not, but yeah, Ashy's still in first. That round 2 doing a lot for them. Gonna keep them in the lead there. But yeah, Allison that much closer to getting a podium spot here. 2 more rounds before the final seed. Who've yet to be seen. Yeah, here we go. Scientific notation for your viewing pleasure, just to make it a little bit easier on the eyes. And yeah, you can see how far ahead Ashy got in that last round. Just you know, vertical jumping straight to the top spot. You know, something has got to go immensely right for these other players if they want to surpass and usurp that number 1 throne spot. But we're going to get into our next seed here, which is he as in Valorant. All right. So that is our seed. If you want to follow along at home, not as simple to remember as Sparky, not as on theme, but a seed nonetheless. Maybe it can make me eat my words and shut my mouth as if it shows these players something nice, and we might need to write down this seed for later play testing. But it looks like Agent T locking in that checker deck again. You know, the plasma deck not doing them, you know, as well as they thought, and they're gonna go back to their old reliable. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you know it, you know, commit to it, and that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna jump straight in, skipping the first one. Soul of the first skip, Triboulet, gonna be gonna be locked in. I think 4 of our players are in Discord calls with each other, so they see each other's runs. So they immediately know that there's a legendary Soul Joker in the first skip. I gotta stop talking, man. Like as soon as I give this seed flack for being confusing and not as roll off the tongue as Sparky, boom, Soul in the first skip. This is gonna be interesting. I said before, something is gonna have to happen for these players to try to usurp first, and they are given the tools to do so. Right off the bat, Triboulet. Wow. Incredible. We got the 4 of a kind ×4 Joker here on Allison's side, and then we have another one as well. Arrowhead going to be picked up as well. And yeah, we are... Yeah. Wow. Wow. I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock that that happened this quickly. And all it took was a single skip on that first blind, you know? If no one skipped it, there was a chance that no one skipped it and no one found it, you know? So, hey, let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson for those at home. Always shoot your shot. The worst you can do is miss. The best you can do is hit Triboulet on small blind. Yeah, Dust's going to be picked up here for Allison. That's going to be very good for high scoring hands on the final hand of the round. If you can set that up, which should be very, very easy here. Right here. So yeah, we are. I think they kind of slowed down a bit. It looks like a negative Steel Joker on the side of Agent T. Might have been from a tag. But I think the plan is very clear for all of these players, and that is just to get as many face cards as physically possible. All right, well, there's a hand. There's a face card hand for Allison right there. I wonder what they're fishing for here. Do they have a 5th king that I did not see? Oh, they're going back. Okay, I see. Oh, they do have a 5th king. So they have the 5 of a kind and the Dusk proc. That's going to re-trigger everything. This is going to be a giant score right off the bat. We'll see what this locks into. 611 million in the first 5 minutes of this round. We're not even close to done, and we're already locking the scores like that. You know, look, things are looking really good Allison, historically, really good at finding these lines. Obviously, in the last round, seemed to be the only one to find that line on the Sparky Seed with the blueprint, able to get that econ up and really train their deck to how they want to. You get another Dusk proc here. Should be another 611. 3 billion now. 3.8 billion now locked in for Allison. Meanwhile, on the side of Agent T, dealing with the pillar at the moment. Trying to get through this round. Should be able to get through with this combination of cards. Slightly ahead of Allison in terms of ante and stage. Gonna pass on to this ante, and we'll see the shop. We'll see a little glimpse into the future for Allison. Director's cut. Why not worth to buy? Arcana pack opened up here. Strength and Hermit immediately. I look for the Judgment. What a hit for Agent T. The DNA. That's gonna be able to bring them back into this game. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, bad news, because that's a DNA that is that Allison can also get potentially. It looks like they didn't grab it though, so that is a little bit of an edge that Agent T has over Allison in this particular moment. Not quite sure if anyone else picked up that DNA off of that Judgment. Obviously, Agent T had that negative Joker, so you know if Allison wanted to take that Judgment, if you know they knew that there was a DNA in there, they would have had to sell something. Not that they didn't have anything to try to sell. As you see, it's selling that reroll Joker for the Hanging Chad. But yeah, these re-triggers though, they're gonna score large. Allison gonna try to fish for that king hand again on the Dusk. Face card found for Agent T. Have a glimpse of something that could be good. Signing on it. Decided to copy the King Farts. Gonna play the Spade. Also realizing they had the Scholarly Joker on there for a little bit of temporary scoring. 15 billion on the side of Allison. Every time I look back on that side of the screen, the score just keeps going up. The chips and the malt, it's all coming together. Yeah, there's the Chad. Seeing what they decide to sell. Decides to get rid of that Scholarly Joker for the Chad. Has that re-trigger now. Question is whether or not Agent T can train this deck fast enough. You know, get these face cards in hand, copy enough face cards, and try not to bloat the deck too much as well, so that you can't draw these. I think I can use the Fool. Yeah, more level ups on 5 of a kind for Allison. All right. All right. Things are slowing down a little bit here. 15 minutes left. Just been kind of taking in everything. Allison, again, similarly to the last round, the game plan is pretty clear to play these face cards, these face jokers. Flush played on Agent T. He's going to lock in decent amount of points, 113,000. But that's going to pale in comparison to this Dusk Trigger 4 of a kind Triboulet Chad that Allison seems to have here. The Temperance going to be nice here. Buffoon Pack, see if it has anything good. Going to take the business card. That's going to be huge for money, especially when you're retriggering so much on these Dusk hands, on these Chad hands. Going to roll a little bit. So far. Oh, just going to send it onto the first hand. Sell the bunch. Base cards, wow. Base cards galore. Alright, there's the hand. There's the 5 of a kind. And now we're on Dusk hand. So watch that money go up. It's ticking up. Absolute stonks. That business card putting in the work. Hanging Chad and Dusk. There for the assist. $35 easy in the bank. Hangman. Kind of thin out the deck even more. It's looking like another Allison lead. Can't help but wonder what else is cooking on the boards of the other players in the lounge. $15 billion is what we're seeing here. How much more other players getting? Is this the highest we'll see in this round? Kind of like round 3. We'll see. Agent T looking like they have a lot more face cards this time, which is nice. Still not too much value coming in from that negative Steel Joker, but then again, it's a negative. It's not going to count towards you too much. You can kind of let it hang there until you need it. Yeah, we're just going to keep on copying these kings. Keep on copying everything. We're just going to play that flush. Hopefully it might be enough. We might have to play another. And nope, that's going to be enough to send them over into ante 7. Strengthen here. Spectral Pack. We'll see what's inside. Immolate Cryptid Deja Vu Medium. Wow. The 4 Horsemen. He's going to use that Cryptid onto the Kings as per expected. You know, the turn order maybe a little bit. I think they realized it there a second. They used the Red Seal first and then the Cryptid to get Red Seal Kings. But, you know, a little bit of a misplay. But still. Better than, you know, having an Ankh there. Better than having a Familiar. No. That is something. And there's more kings in your deck. I don't think you can really complain too much about that. But again, like I said before, Agent T and ante ahead of Allison. So look into the future. I'm not spoiling it too much. Sounds like they're kind of in cahoots with each other, but you know, we'll see after they complete this ante how they go for this next Spectral Pack. And they have plenty of money to do so. Buys the strength, buys the Spectral Pack. Yeah, they see it now. Deja Vu, Cryptid. Yeah, and they get that order there. So that is 3 red card kings, along with the retrigger they already have, along with the Triboulet. It is going to be a massive score next coming up. And a death to boot. The mail-in rebate also showing itself. Although I can't imagine that's too much better than the business card. They're going to skip it. And there's the hands them the Red Seal King to copy. So that's 4. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. If the lucky cards weren't enough, Last couple rounds for Allison. Red Seal Kings. Looks like Agent T has a death of their own to copy the Red Seal Kings with as well. I'd say in terms of the deck, it's on even footing. Ooh. Decrypted there. Going to copy the Kings. Lots of spectral packs this game, I feel like. Man, the longer the seed goes, the more it tries to embarrass me for my comments before we even got started into the round. 10 minutes left. Plenty of time to get a big score. There we go. DNAing the Red Seal right here on the side of Agent T. So many resources. So much. You know, I said these seeds weren't play tested. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how true that is anymore. Just because these seeds are so good, they have, you know, so much potential that someone had to have known. Yeah. 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 Hermit here. Yeah. Wow, there's the king. So the decks, the hands are looking a lot better for Agent T now. The money as well. You know, I mean, with the resources you're given, it's almost kind of like expected that your hands look as good as they do here. You know, the death. You know, you have your hand here, not worth using it now. Looks like Agent T realizes that. He's just gonna go for a large hand here. See what they lock in. 22 million. The best score we've seen from them yet. But yeah, I'm willing to, I don't know, I didn't catch it last time, so we'll see how much the wheel kind of get in the way of things. Devil. You're okay. Here we go. Big hand coming in from Allison. 3 of those red seals. Not as big as it could be, which is the scary part. Those red seals going to continue triggering the Chad. Already bringing that E12. E12 for Allison. And that's not even the max of it. Oh, polychrome to boot. They can get a red seal on that thing. It's pretty curtains for everybody else. Gets the cryptid on the red seal, though, on the side of Agent T. That's pretty big. I believe that's a full hand of red seal kings that they can then play. With 7 minutes left, it is possible. Series, not exactly what you want to see here. Gonna keep the 50 for the money. I'm gonna have a king there. All right. One last hand. Not as big of a hand as you'd like to see on Allison's side. It should still be large regardless. See how much this scores. The business card also doing a lot of work. E13, even bigger than the last time. That polychrome, you know, still makes the difference. The best hand looking like 4 red seals and a polychrome 5 of a kind. And we're not even done with this anti-8 yet. There's still so much more. The Hermit coming in for more money. And there's still one more shop before the end of this ante for Allison. So before we get into Endless and where things start to get, you know, a little bit tougher. Looking back on Agent T's side. Guess the Royal Flush. Trying to debate whether or not they want it. Could just play the full flush, though, for all the face cards. It's guaranteed that they can get through, yeah. And here we go. Another hand. Can't imagine it's too much better. They're going to pick up the... Yeah, another E13 here. But they're gonna pick up the negative joker here. You can thin their deck even more. I don't know if they even have sixes left. I haven't seen any. I've only been seeing kings. There's the Bloodstone. I mean, would be more useful for Agent T. Which might be a few rolls down here then. Depending on if Agent T rolled past it. Yeah, they are anti ahead. All Hearts cards are debuffed. Absolute tragedy for the side of Agent T. That Chico from last round might have been... Oh, it is tragic. Really wishing for that Chico from last round. Now, if you are Agent T, we'll see if this is enough here. Maybe. Oh, it is enough. Okay. Yeah, a little bit of a heart attack, no pun intended, for Agent T, but is still able to continue playing for the last 5 minutes. If that was curtains there, if T didn't have those cards, I mean, that might as well have been the run. I'm not sure if you can get back to the point you're at with 5 minutes to spare. Polychrome gold card, it looks like. Yeah, now we're just discarding and playing for that hand. I don't know. It's just rough numbers, but I think we have enough to just like straight up play for our hand. Here we go. No, it doesn't get it. But that should be a good amount of points regardless. That's 3 red seals. Here we are. Let's lock it in. E15 for Allison. Wow. Just really good decisions and a little bit of luck. But just like really, really well played for Allison. E15 is insane. Oh, here we go. 5 red seals though. 5 red seals. So yeah, kind of scared that the red seal might win them the round. We can get even bigger here. We can get even larger. We're just praying for this polychrome in the next 17 cards. Can we get it? We can't. We can get a chariot though, and we have a flush 5 of red seals. See how much this gives us. Here we go. 2.5 V15. I believe that was bigger than last time. Just for a little bit. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty I mean, I feel like this is pretty locked in for Allison here. They're going to pick up the negative voucher for Agent T, but I'm not sure what negative jokers you can find here in the last 2 minutes of our match. And here we go. $10 left as well. We're nearing the end. We're starting to peter out a little bit. People are starting to realize, you know, just what they're up against. All right, there we go. Chariot here. We can copy that red seal. Should be some good scoring, but they're just going to play it there on the first hand. Yeah, I'm going to get straight past that 7 million. E14, which is a little bit lower. Oh, they're selling all their jokers at this point with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. They're done. They're making the power play and they're calling it. They're saying you can't do anything. That's it. E15, they're going to lock that score in on the end screen. And yeah. 259 million though, not terrible for Agent T. A minute left. We'll see. They're gonna also sell all their jokers. So that's gonna be, I believe that's the highest hand they can do. Did I hear that right? Do we make sure they're playing vanilla? Oh, okay. Right. All right. Well, those are the scores for our players on stream. Massive props to them. 367 million locked in for Agent T, which is a big step up. The big props there. E15 for Allison. And you can see the leadership or the leaderboard. Leaderboard locking in 2 main. I don't even know what's going on there. Undefined number. Wow. That is incredible. Yeah, we see that. Discord, yeah, going back into E37? Are you kidding me? That's insane. E37 locked in for Andrew. I mean, it was a good every single. I feel like a broken record. I feel like I keep saying the same things. I feel like this is a good seed. It's a very clear that this is a good seed, but it's just amazing what these players can do when given the golden materials, you know, the golden ingredients, what kind of stews they can cook up here in Balatro. So, you know, I feel like I could give, I don't know, man. we gotta get the worst seed possible and see what they can do with it next time. I don't know. Misprint only. They only get misprint. Yeah. 2 main, gonna lock in E27, Andrew E37, and yeah. I don't want to say this locks Andrew into first place, but I mean I can't help but think it. I can't imagine a world where we see a lot more than this. Scores updating now. That is incredible. Oh, wow. Incredible. All right. Well, those are our round 4 scores for now. Locked in, and we're going to go to the overall scores here. And yeah, I mean, that E37 doing wonders for Andrew. The top 4 kind of locked in. The disparity between second and third is astounding, and even more so for first and second. So much to look at. I mean, we can have an idea of how they did it, but no one can really know. If they're in the lounge today, maybe we can get a little bit of an interview afterwards. They're not in the lounge. Okay, so they are online. Both of them are online. Interesting. Very interesting. So, unfortunately, they could not join us in the lounge. But yeah. We're getting that last round set up here. This is the final chance to overtake first. And yeah. This is so far, unless someone gets an E40. That's the beauty of Balatro though, you know? It could take you just need one good run. You know? Someone locks in an E40. They can yeah, if someone locks in an E40, they can just shoot out straight to that spot. So no one's safe. No one is safe. You could get some like crazy angle of jokers and just get better hands and play better, you know? It's gonna be hard to beat out Andrew and two main though. Seems very very, very skilled indeed, able to make the best out of a good situation. You know, that takes skill as well. Being handed the resources is one thing, and being able to turn that into an East 37 is another. But yeah, we before we get into our last round, we have a couple of things to show everybody who's competing. If you've done a tournament with us before, you know that we do trophies. You can win something. You know, it's not just a for fun tournament. You do win something at the end of it. So for our Balatro tournament, we have these trophies here printed out with these removable kind of cards here. Courtesy of the lounge, we have them printed out for each tier. You just saw the third place, and this is second and first. Oh, this one right here. Yeah, this one's first. It's a little hard to see, but it is golden. So you can have your very own gold Joker here tonight if you take home the win. But that's just the thing. We have one round left. You have to secure it. It is not over yet. So we'll get that seed over to the players right now. It looks like we're just about ready. We're setting it all up. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Just before we get into our final round, I just want to give a massive shout out to everybody who is here today in the lounge, and everybody who's here to run this tournament, and everybody who's participating. You know, anybody who's online, anybody who's in the lounge playing, all the TOs and everybody running everything. You know, everybody running the stream. Avery who's been helping me out, and then Allie, who's been kind of running around helping our players get their seeds in, get the scores in and whatnot. So massive props to everybody. These tournaments, you know, they take a fair bit of work, and we all do it for the love of the game. So if you too love the game and just want to find some cool people to hang out with, maybe do some gaming, maybe take a chill pill after school and whatnot from schoolwork. I know we're halfway through the semester now, and it can kind of feel like a drag, especially nowadays. You have that kind of fall gloom as you realize, oh my God, we're almost halfway through the semester. I'm cooked. Take a step back. Come hang out with some people that would love to just, chat about games. Again, we do these tournaments every Friday. Next week is Fortnite. So, you can either try hard and crank 90s, or you can turn your brain off and enjoy the goofiness that is Fortnite. I love doing Fortnite with the guys every once in a while, just to see what crazy, wacky stuff they've come up with in the new season. But we've got the last seed, Devils, a thematic seed for the final match and the final chance to win one of these beautiful ASU Esports Lounge trophies. We will see exactly what this seed has in store for us. Will it be heavenly, or will it be hellish? The Devil seed locked in right now. Going straight in. Rare Joker, skip blind. Someone wants to roll it, they can, but they're not going to do it. They're just going to do this nice and easy. No risks. And go straight for the flush. You're on Agent T's side. Really, we just got to see this first shot. Looks like Agent T is gonna give us that opportunity. See what's in it. Nothing too assuming. Buffoon pack. Immediately a seance and a business card. Big business card can get picked up here for Agent T. Should be some good money if they can get those face cards. Allison also going to pick that up. Been a big fan of this face card throughout the extent of this tournament, the duration. And wow, what a hand to have right after picking up face card. Two pair of kings, or two pair of face cards. I've been too used to saying kings, but they're just gonna rack up $4. Ancient Joker, holographic nonetheless. That's gonna give some direction for our players here. We'll see what they can set up here for that. Yeah, Agent T should be coming up on that pretty soon here. Found the arrow, the polychrome arrowhead as well, which under normal circumstances would be kind of all right. But if you are, if you're Agent T, you're checker deck, so you only have spades. You can play around that really, really nicely. You know, that should get you through to the round. Can he get you those big scores? I don't know. We'll see. But we'll have to just let the rounds play out for themselves. I'm not sure. Gonna get the negative skip here. We'll see if that negative is worth it after this blind. The house. Gonna be drawing everything face down. Allison now with the anti-lead instead of Agent T. Agent T playing a little bit slower. Is gonna catch up. We'll see what this negative is. Negative Devious Joker. Very devilish indeed. You're going to pick it up for the sake of it. You're going to pick up that Temperance as well for the gold. Arcana pack. Going to have a Hermit and a Strength. I'm assuming the Hermit's going to be the pick here for the gold. Judgment? Roll the die a little bit. Raise fist. A little bit of scoring. Get you through that early game. Hanging Chad, though, picked up for Allison. I didn't mention it before, but the Daredevil, the Evil Knievel, or whatever it's called. Ooh, that is a pickup and a half. DNA with a polychrome red seal. Wow. I feel like Allison wrote the seats. I feel like they I feel like we're in the presence of Mr. Balatro themselves. That is crazy. That is insane. That is not okay. I've been saying that all night, but that is insane. Polychrome King in the same shop as a DNA. It's making that polychrome arrowhead look like a little bit of a chip. Not nothing at all. Wow, making that steel as well, being able to copy it with the DNA. And the Hermit, too, is going to give them more than enough money. Yet their Hangman to thin out the deck. It is a seed and a half here, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Wow. That's all I have to say. So we're kind of fishing for this DNA, not wanting to bloat the deck, so we're just going to play a random hand. Lose a little bit of DNA value, but would be better than adding a card that doesn't really work. Strength here. Going to help out a little bit. And so we'll see what we get from the standard pack. Nothing much. Gold card picked up. A little bit of money in the pocket. That strength. And yeah, one shot behind of Allison so far. Here on round 9. It has a lot more money, so they can definitely jump ahead if they can. If they want to. Alright. Photograph picked up for Allison. The Dusk. Proven to be very useful in these high hand scoring tournaments. If you can just draw your best hand and then get to final, that's an easy retrigger mania you can get. Blue seal, nice. And we're kind of just chilling. We're trying to wait for shops, get as much money as we can. $34 on the side of Agent T. Allison has has a very clear setup, but there's still a lot of gold. 26,000 for Agent T. On a pack, let's see what's in it. Just the strength. But yeah, the more time that passes, we're about 18, 19 minutes away. The more time that passes, the more we have glass. We have glass red seal polychrome kings here on the side of Allison. We are scaling hard on a slope here. That is a near 90-degree vertical graph. If I had to visualize it, death as well. Not going to hit that polychrome red seal. Not going to be too much of a problem. We'll take the steel. Boon pack. Nothing useful. Mr. Bones, I'm sorry. But not what we want right now. Well, polychrome mail-in rebate as well. And I'm selling that. And then also the negative tag. The negative voucher. Plus one choker slot. Doesn't have enough money for it though, unfortunately. The big between. Oh. I mean, I'm gonna look away from Allison's screen because we already kind of know where this is going. We kind of know. We'll see what kind of monstrosity that grows into in a little bit. Has enough money for the voucher now. Antimatter, plus one joker slot, and a bloodstone. That polychrome joker is hearts as well. They're not gonna go for it, but yeah, the polychrome king is hearts, so could have been an option, but they're not gonna overcomplicate things. But again, back on Agent T, let's see what they can make. They still got the Agent Joker, and they still got quite a bit of polychrome jokers right here. We have a double, that double straight joker. Not sure. Yeah, we're just kind of fishing right now. We're scaling surely, but slowly. Flip it around. Slowly but surely. There's the polychrome mail-in rebate. That's the kind of gold that they need. There's so much polychrome. So much foil. Oh, I'm going to pretend I didn't see that sock and buskin. That is insane. In the membrane for Allison. Of course, the other players get that as well. But yeah, Agent T trying to decide what to sell in place of this mail-in. They want the mail-in for sure. I think that's a non-negotiable. You need this mail-in. You need the gold. They're going to sell the normal flush joker for the mail-in. I think that's a good call. Need some gold. They're going to go for the special pack. There's something in there. Ectoplasm, Deja Vu. There's some red seal, but not in any cards that are decent. Wrathful Joker getting the negative. It's not bad. Honestly, not a terrible option. I think it only could have been Wrathful. Just based on the other effects on the cards. Here. There's a purple seal here. We can get some taros. And yeah, some Jimbo, budding up with Jimbo. Lots of Jimbos, lots of Jokers. This is Balatro after all. But yeah, we're 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 searching for scraps here for Agent T. 469,000, not bad, but far from what you need if you want to get into that top cut. Sock and Buskin found here, and Jimbo left to the streets for Sock and Buskin. Here, find the death. See what they decide to do here. With the Sock and Buskin, okay, they're gonna go for the money. Alternatively, you can go for the death here to get more of those face cards for that Sock and Buskin. Money here is good too. They're gonna buy the World Trees for more interest, but in order to activate that World Seed, you need to have money. So, you know, I find it so interesting that this mail-in rebate, we spent $9 to get it, and first hand we play it and we go past the blind. Every hand counts. You know, when you're playing to get these large hands, right? So, you know, you want to make sure you're remembering to discard your hands. I mean, we've all fallen prey to it, right? You know, you're speeding through it. You just want to get through it. You've been playing for 3 hours. You get your mail-in rebate, and you forget to even use it. Your DNA, you forget to even use it. You know, it's such a it's a common mistake, but a mistake nonetheless. And yeah, you don't even see, you know, you haven't been hitting the mail-in rebate anyway. So just like really not great hits. One hand left on the goad. Let's see if this pair gets it. Sock and Buskin. Not gonna do it. Doesn't get them over. Luckily, still 12 minutes left. Not the end of the world if they can get in one last run right now. And maybe get decently deep, but they got to play fast. They know the advantage is they kind of know what's already in the deck or in the seed. They know what's there. All they have to do is find it. Lead them to it. Back onto Allison. Let's see what amalgamation we have here. We have an invisible Joker to copy any one of these. I mean, I think I'm happy with any one of these Jokers being copied here. So that's live right now. And let's see what kind of scores we're getting here. We're copying the glass. And that wins it. So we won't even be able to see how big this is. We're waiting on the invisible. Seeing if there's anything we want to copy. You know, very smart on Allison's part. You're not really in a rush. If you find a Joker you might consider guessing, you can pop that invisible, see what it copies. If you don't like what it copies, in comparison to what you're about to buy, you can just sell that copy. And yeah, but we're going to pop it right here. We're going to have the double DNA, which is not bad at all when you're looking to copy a bunch of cards. So let's see. Should be 2. Yeah, that's 2 glass red seal polychrome kings. Yeah, E14 on that right now, kind of what it is as it stands. We'll have to resort to endless to get that large score, because those high cards are a little too strong right now. And we can't even get to a point where we can play those big hands. I guess a little solace in knowing that they are there. They do exist. But speaking of which, we'll see if this wins. I think this also wins it. Yeah. I can't stop winning coming from Allison. A lot of confidence. But if I were in the position they were in, I also would be, so can't blame them. Evil. Huh? No, I said evil. If you're... yeah, evil. Alright. We're counting down the clock here. We've got just around 9.5 minutes left. we have the pretty much the god build on Allison's side. We'll see. This is a big hand coming here. This is what we wanted to see. E to the 17. Not the largest we've seen so far in the tournament, but the largest we have seen on stream. Um, um, yeah, Hangman gonna thin that deck out a little bit more. That is looking pretty bloated. We have 63 cards in the deck. Here we are. Selling the business card. Going back to Agent T. Yeah, I mean, it is just like it is the waiting room right now. You know, feel I just wonder what the other players are doing right now. I'm just trying to take a peek. Let's see what they got. The Bloodstone over there. So someone did pick up the Bloodstone. Oh, there's the Polychrome Red Seal on Agent T's side. And my eye just keeps on getting drawn back. 3.6 to the 17. Allison. Dusk Brainstorm as well, as if it couldn't get any better. Wow, wow, wow. Replacing that DNA in a heartbeat. All face cards face down, but it doesn't matter when all you're playing are face cards. And just go ahead and copy that. And then now we can copy the Sock and Buskin. So here we go. Big hand coming out from Allison. Not as big as it could be. That's just the 4 of a kind. Kind of missing it on that jack. A little bit of a troll. The E13 nonetheless. Oh, of course. Of course. It shows up in the final minutes of our Balatro tournament. We find the prodigal son themselves. It starts with a B. It ends in an Aaron. We have found the Baron. You know, all things considered, though, we are playing all these face cards, though. So not entirely, you know, it's kind of a little bit off the path, off the line that we're seeing. But, I mean, you got to take it, you know. As soon as you find that mime, it is, you make a full switch. Yeah, here we go. Full hand of, we'll see what this high card does, because you got to copy it all. Here we go. This is just the setup round. E to the 11 on the setup because of the Baron. That's just from the Baron. And then the Baron gets nullified next round, and you still get E to the 17 on the next one. So it just does not get too much better than this. I feel like I keep saying that, but each time I'm proven wrong. Leveling up the high card in preparation. 5 minutes left. Plenty of time to roll. Not a lot of money on the side of Allison. If I had to say one thing, it would be that. So, not that they need it so much. They've kind of had their build locked in. But, yeah, going back to Agent T. Seeing there's the Polychrome Mail rebate again. We've restarted the run again just to see what we can get. Um, and Deja Vu Ectoplasm, we've seen it all before. Yeah. We're straight back to the beginning, back to ground zero, back to the drawing board. Ooh, driver's license as well. Yeah, at this point, I think it's pretty set in stone here, at least from what we see on on stream. Excuse me. So let's just enjoy the ride while we see it. Let's see how far Allison can take this, what we see, what we can potentially find in this seed. Just from copying this here. Yeah, not even copying any sort of scoring joker with that brainstorm. They know it's over. They know they've got it. Get the wasteful just for the road. Getting the fool and the hangman, more deck thinning, kind of keeping this debating whether or not to pick up that bloodstone, decides against it. Not everything is going to be useful here. Gonna ignore the death. Going for glass here, it looks like. Not enough steel kings. I think they were committing to this sock and buskin photograph line. We're gonna copy that steel. Baron doing work here in E14. We're just exploring the seed at this point. We'll see how much we can roll down. The Temperance gonna get a light $20. Buffoon pack gonna give us a banana, but not much else. Not the kind of banana we want to see. Deleting the sock and buskin just to see it. Judgment giving us a scary face. Spooky season. 8-ball to boot. And yeah, the crowd is circling around Allison at the moment. It's very clear. It's very colorful, this this screen right now. Very satisfying seeing all the Molt procs go up. E17 once again. Oh, the Ouija. Not gonna take it. Must play 5 cards. I don't think that really matters too much. Yeah, 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock to get the biggest score that these players can for the finals. Final round of Balatro. You can see these overall scores in the bottom here. They're not updated yet, but you can kind of see what we're working against. E to the 19 is the best hand that we have on Allison's side. And with a minute left, they're going to lock that in. They're going to call it quits. Massive props to both players that we saw on stream. And massive thank you for volunteering to be on stream for those 2 players. But yeah, just incredible job. Incredible to see what you know, you really showcased like what these different calibers of players can really do when handed this the same seed, you know. Really goes to show there's always a path, and there's always a different way to play things, you know. We are on time. We are on the round 5 conclusion. We are these are the round 5 scores so far. And I believe these are not updated at the moment. Yeah. They're updating at the as we speak. Because obviously we see Allison score shoot up right up to the top. More zeros than I will have in the next century if I were to live that long. More than my kids' will be making. I can almost guarantee it. More money that can probably be printed. Don't quote me on that one. I'm just saying things. E to the 29 here, locked in for Andrew, though. Smashing Allison's E to the 19 out of the park by a factor of 10. Or at least like 10 away. Oh, wow. This Andrew guy. I wish we could have seen this gameplay on stream. Because it does seem suspicious. It does seem suspicious just because they're not in the lounge. We can't check. But I trust them. I trust that they are just that goated. Ashley also putting up fine work, E to the 11. And yeah, Tume not having so much luck in this round. Only getting 180 million. In previous rounds, they were consistently putting up really good scores. You know, they're consistently getting those notation scores, but this time just not enough. Not sure if that's going to be enough to drop them out of their second place spot. Should be third place guaranteed for them, but I don't know. We'll have to see what the overall scores look like as we update. But yeah, we are at the end of our tournament here. Just for the sake of it, let's look at the overall scores, fully updated for you guys. Andrew taking in the top, and 2 men to follow, and then Allison in our third place. So go ahead and do our trophy ceremony. Yeah. Allison, you can go ahead and come back. Yeah, come back here. Just push to there. Might have to get down low a little bit. The camera's for sitting position. Yep. But here we go.
Thank you.
This is our third place for the night. You have anything to say?
I could have got a better score, but I won too much. I won way too much.
Suffering from success, the Khaled special.
But it got me third place. I'm happy about that.
Hey, third place. You got a nice trophy to go with it. Massive props. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I love it here. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. And second place, who they could not join us in the lounge today, but I think we should announce them just as a courtesy. In second place, we have 2 main right here. They get this trophy if they decide to pick it up, I think. Yeah, so if you're watching, pick it up. Come by. This up. And then Andrew, by a long shot, first place trophy. Congratulations at home, Andrew. Massively well played. And then thank you again to everybody else who joined us in the lounge or either online for the tournament. This is our first time running a Balatro tournament, and you guys made it a blast. So thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next tournament next week for Fortnite. I know all of our Balatro players love Fortnite. I know there's a lot of crossover there. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
dream about